Hi, today we have got Niharika Pradhan, who is currently working in PwC Bangalore, and she has cracked ZAT with the flying colors. She had scored 98.86 percentile in ZAT. Hello, Niharika.
Hi, thanks for having me here. So, I have graduated from Jadavpur University in Kolkata as an electrical engineer. And once I graduated, I got into PwC as a campus hiree. And yeah, I think it is going to be 2 years now working in PwC, and I'll be soon joining Accelerate.
Niharika, now our next question is, as you were working in a reputed company like PwC, then why you have thought of joining Accelerate?
It's not like I was working in PwC and all of a sudden I thought that, okay, I should get an MBA or something. MBA was always a plan. For me, getting into PwC was more like I wanted an exposure into how a corporate works. Because MBA has different, minors, right? So unless and until you work in a company and get to interact with people, you can't really understand whether you want to get into finance, marketing, or anything of that sort. So I just wanted that exposure working in a company.
So Niharika, what was your mantra for preparation as you were also a working professional? So as we all know that working professional doesn't get too much time for practice and for preparation. So what was your mantra?
So I think I should not say this, but pandemic really helped me because I did not have to go to office. So my commutation time was really reduced. So I could just squeeze out 3 hours somehow, and every day I made sure that I give 3 hours to preparing for ZAT or CAT.
And now we want to know that how you were disciplined in that 1 year, because being disciplined is a very big task.
Yeah. Sometimes, I what I started with doing was initially when I gave a mock, I scored so bad because my basics were not clear. Kaha I did all of that in 11th and 12th, and after 6 years I'm again starting with it. So I think the something was not letting your motivation level go down. So I started practicing every single question, started memorizing formulas, and whenever I scored less, I made sure that I analyzed my whole paper, that where did I go wrong? Did I spend too much time in one particular question? That is why I could not do the others. Like that, I started strategizing my whole way of giving an exam.
Niharika, how many mocks you have given till time? Number of
Many. I
mocks?
think I used to give a mock every single day.
Every
I
single.
started preparing in August, and till 3rd Jan, I gave a mock every single day.
So what was your strategy in your mock?
Uh, One thing everybody has their strategy. It's a bit different. Since my maths is very strong, so I started, focusing more on attempting more questions, and because my it never usually goes wrong, my questions in maths. So I started, increasing my speed. So I started looking for shortcuts, formulas, anything which would help me. And there are certain questions which I know that if given time I can solve, but in a competitive exam, it's better that I leave those topics. I don't think it is really necessary, that you learn every single topic. I find it really hard calculating that time clocks question. So I just left those there. I did not want to spend time on something I don't I'm not sure about. So that was very important for me.
How you have done your verbal part?
Verbal, I like reading books. So I think that is the best thing one can ever do is keep reading books, keep reading articles. One thing I faced was since I read mostly fiction, so when a reading comprehension came with something of that writing style fiction, it was easier for me. But when something like an scientific article came, which I'm not used to reading, it took me more time to analyze the whole thing and answer the questions. So one thing I would suggest is read every kind of articles, passages, whatever you can get your hands on. Read newspapers, magazines, books, everything.
Niharika, we want to know that please suggest some three novels that anyone want to Read.
One of my favorite novels is Shadow of the Wind.
Okay.
I can't remember the writer's name. I can't really remember right now.
Okay, no problem.
Another one is at that moment I was reading A Gentleman from Moscow, Gentleman in Moscow, and I remember this because one of the passages in my mock came from that book. So I did not even had to read that passage. I was like, I just knew the answers. So reading these things really help you. And another book I would suggest right now I'm reading is Cavalier and Clay.
Now, Niharika, we want to know that what were some of your interview question of Accelerate?
For me, first of all, they started with my name. What does it mean? Who kept it? Like a very casual kind of discussion about it. Then they started with, they started, just random discussions about farms law. What is happening? What are my opinions about it? What I think should happen of that sort. And then they came up with, they asked three major problems in India right now. That was that. And yeah, they asked me about COVID situation right now. You know what people are facing, what did I face? So we had a very long conversation about depression and anxiety. And one thing they asked me was, since I was interviewing for HR, they asked me that being an HR person, if I go to recruit a person and that person says that that person suffers from depression or anxiety, should that affect my decision in his recruitment? So I think that was very important. So yeah, I answered that saying that mental health and physical health are the same. If a person has diabetes, you won't say that hey, you have diabetes, I cannot recruit you. It's the same thing. So those kind of things they asked. Then yeah, they asked me uh, what do I hate about extroverts. I don't know why they asked me this. So yeah, I jot like they were coaxing me a lot. So I came up with like 12 points what I hate about them, and then they said that okay, you have to work with a person who has all these 12 points. How do you tackle that person? So that was a bit tricky because I could not come up with anything. So, but still they were like you're coaxing and they helped me out also. Ki, suppose you have this, suppose you have that. So according to that, I could answer a little bit saying that okay, I'll indulge with him really less or her really less. I'll just keep it to the task allotted to me. And another thing I said was, it's just because I stated the negative points does not mean that extroverts don't have a positive point. So I think that they really liked because most of the people, I guess, they would have tried to tackle all the negative points. But I said that, I might happen to like that person also over time. So I think that thinking different, that matters.
Okay, Niharika, now we want to know that is coaching a really worth for cat or zat, or we can do it with self preparation also.
I will say coaching is not necessary because when I was in college, I went to coaching, but I did not take it seriously though. But the thing I realized was coaching is not teaching you anything different. All of us have solved all the questions in 10th standard. We just need to, a little bit we need to go through it. And in coaching, you're spending a lot of money, a lot of time. You're spending 3 hours, and there the sir is step by step teaching you to solve maybe 15 questions. Whereas in 3 hours, you could have given a mock, solved 100 questions, and again in 1 hour, you could have analyzed all the 100 questions. And I feel coaching is not really necessary. Test series works fine.
Now, Niharika, as you are going to XRI and the fee structure is very hefty. So, after investing the 2i money, where you see yourself at 2023?
So, this is a question many people think about the ROI associated with XLRI. Not everything can be tangible. There are several intangible advantages of XLRI. Like right now, since my project people are looking for a replacement for me, I've seen this like they have come across a person who is really good, but he got rejected because he was not from a prominent college. So that college brand matters a lot, and XLRI just doesn't give you a degree. There are test scenarios, there are so many competitions. You have to interact with people all day long. So it is also character building, which is going to help you a long way. It is not that you're just going to get a job and there's the work done. कि MBA का degree use हो गया. This is not how it works. You have to work with it over time. So you get to, you know, talk to people, understand how people think. So that is what XLRI offers you.
And Niharika, now at last we want to know that what is a skill set that you have and that has helped you to crack this exam?
I have, oh, I don't know how to say this without, seeming overconfident or like bragging, but I have very high tenacity. So I think that is what kept me going with new projects coming in. At one point, I was handling 3 projects. So there were times like I woke up 4 in the morning and I started giving a mock. So when I fix my mind to something, I give my whole heart to it. That is one thing which has helped me a lot. And another thing is I'm easy with people. People talk to me a lot. So that is really helpful when you're applying for an MBA, because it is people who you're dealing with at the end of the day.
Okay, Niharika, thank you. It was nice talking with you. We have got too much insight of XRI also and how to prepare also.
Okay.